brothers and sisters of the Circle, today we welcome a new soul into our mortal fold. This man has endured, has challenged, and has shown his valor. Who will speak for him?
I stand witness to the courage of the soul before us.
Would you raise your shield in his defense?
I would stand at his back, that the world might never overtake us.
And would you raise your sword in his honor?
It stands ready to meet the blood of his foes.
And would you raise a mug in his name?
I would lead the song of triumph as our mead hall reveled in his stories.
Then the judgment of this circle is complete. His heart beats with fury and courage that have united the Companions since the days of the distant green summers. Let it beat with ours, that the mountains may echo and our enemies may tremble at the call.
It shall be so.
Well, boy, you're one of us now. I trust you won't disappoint.
Let's cut right to the chase here. Is it true that the Companions are werewolves?
I see you've been allowed to know some secrets before your appointed time. No matter. Yes, it's true. Not every companion, though. Only members of the Circle all share the blood of the beast. Some take to it more than others. Well, I grow old. My mind turns towards the horizon, to Sovngarde. I worry that Shor won't call an animal to glory as he would a true Nord warrior. Living as beasts draws our souls closer to the Daedric Lord Hircine. Some may prefer an eternity in his hunting grounds, but I crave the fellowship of Sovngarde. Yes, but it's no easy matter. But you don't need to share the worries of an old warrior. This day is to rejoice in your bravery. And speak to Yorland if you want a better weapon than whatever that is.
What do you mean, whatever that is? I got a steel battle axe. Why are you talking shit on my weaponry? Talk to the Companions leaders for work.
Skjor says that I have the strength of Ysgramor, and my brother has his smarts.
Anybody...
Some nights I dream about the mists of Sovngarde.
Why is there an apple pie laying here on the floor? Anybody have an answer for that?
Some people don't think I'm smart. There's always some sort of trouble in the Reach, but a local warlord has raised the stakes. We have to handle the situation.
Well, there's only room for one warlord in Skyrim.
The Falmer. There have been reports that they've been attacking people at night.
I'd rather not handle that.
I knew you could be counted on. Do what must be done.
What kind of milk drinker would choose that answer?
My brother Vilkas is a better talker than me.
Okay,
He
man,
should
you're
be
just gonna
around
follow me
someplace.
in like that, huh? Okay. I think we can only take one quest at a time.
What brings you to me? It's all in the swing.
Right.
Let
it's
me
all in
show
the
you.
swing. Okay. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can only do one quest for each faction at a time.
By now, I've killed one of every living thing in Skyrim. Maybe time for a trip to Morrowind.
Okay. That's another game for another day. So can I do heavy armor yet? Can I try that? Juggernaut. Yeah.
Getting tired of
All
hanging
right.
around talking all day.
I mean, you're the one hanging around and you're the one talking, so...
What then? Do the elves take your homes? Your businesses? Your children? Your very lives? And
How
what
is
does
he?
the
I want
Empire
to know that. That's you talk about the power of the
You're
thune
the
or the power of
best.
the voice.
Can you be my father?
How is he talking without his mouth moving? Is that the bully? Yes.
What are you looking at?
There it
I'm
is.
not afraid of you.
Finally,
No. Even if you
justice
are
can
my
be
elder.
done. You need to stop bullying Lars Battleborn.
Yeah? Why?
Wow. Okay. I'm his bodyguard. Mess with him, you mess with me. You want to be shipped off to Honor Hall Orphanage? That's a little too far. He has a terrible disease. That's a little weak. She said she's not afraid of me, so I don't know if this is going to work. But I don't want to be like, yeah, you're going to be shipped off to the orphanage.
Okay, I'll
There
leave
we
him
go.
alone. I was just kidding around. Besides, if he'd only kiss me, I wouldn't have to beat him up all the time.
Whoa.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Ah, a letter from the Jarl. Moving up in the world, eh? Looks like that's it. Got to go.
I bet you could slay one of those mean old dragons. I bet you could do anything. I don't know what you did, but Braith won't even look at me now, so thanks.
Who the hell's this? That's not suspicious at all. Run away. Oh, wow, okay. Hold on. That was a cheap shot. Circle around. Oh, got him. Missed him again. We got him. There we go. What do we got going on down here? More Thalmor scum.
Never should have come here.
You bastards, come here. Alright, I'm getting them.
You see, I am only
Yeah, Thalmor kill on sight. Who the hell are you? Emperor Palpatine over here went down like a
do your work.
bag of bricks. There we go. So yeah, let's go talk to Ulfric. Well, shit. Ho, 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 ho. So we want to go resist to listen to that music. You know what time it is when you hear that kick in. Wait a second. I thought I had to resist the frost. Resist cold. There we go. I am really low on healing potions, I'll tell you that much. First dragon fight out in the open world. Here we go. Is my horse okay? I hope so. Berserker. first dragon kill out in the open world. What a way to resume the conquest of Skyrim after the intermission, right? There's Deathwish. Don't tell me they got killed. Oh, thank the gods. Deathwish, don't scare me like that again, girl. You hear me? On your left, you'll see the remnants of a dragon that was slain by the legendary conqueror Shanush Angarok. Swaggering about here as we make our way to Windhelm. Kick in the doors and be like, look, do you want your side to win or not? Whose side do you want to win? Because that's whatever side I join, that's going to be the side that wins. So make me a good offer. Tell me why I should join the Stormcloaks instead of the Imperials. Tell me why you deserve to win more than the Imperials do. That's really what we're getting at here when I get to Windhelm. Look at that. That's just, I love this game. And this is vanilla. This is no mods. This is just straight up vanilla Skyrim. And I love it. I love it. I haven't, I think my last playthrough I dabbled with a couple mods, but I haven't really gone crazy with the mods. I know there's a big modding community. What the hell's going on here?
The mercy of Stendarr does not extend to Daedra worshippers. Walk always in the light, or we will drag you to it. Walk always in the light, or we will drag you to it. You speak to a vigilant of Stendarr. Yes. Our order was founded after the Oblivion Crisis. We dedicate our lives to facing the threat of Daedra wherever they appear. We're quartered in the Hall of the Vigilant. Keeper Karset heads Skyrim's branch of our order there, providing healing and justice as needed. He is the god of mercy, the patron of order and justice for all of Tamriel. We bring his compassion where none can be found, by cleansing all those who would offend his children. And any other abominations that prey on mortals, vampires, werewolves, witches. But Daedra are the worst. Their callous disregard for our lives is abhorrent in the eyes of the God of Mercy. Stendarr be with you.
Well, good to know.
The mercy of Stendarr does not extend to Daedra worshippers.
Well, good thing I'm not a Daedra worshipper. You two take care. A little creepy. Little creepy, to say the least. Oh, yeah. Alright, Deathwish, put yourself to safety. Let's do this. That's fire. Do I have one of those? I don't think I do. Let's do it. Kill my horse, you SOB. That's what you get. He turned in desperation just to get a low blow, just to get a dying strike against me, against my horse, against my heart. But you saw what happens when you do that. You saw what happens when you mess with the faithful steed of IronWarlord. Turns out that mistake was his last. Yeah, we got Death Wish in on the action there. It was great. You can pretty much just go straight through here. Oh, hello. Tiger jumping in on the action and everything. Whoa. That is a giant. Death Wish, get yourself to safety. Get yourself to safety. You wanna go? Let's go. Resist magic. I don't think the dragon is really magic at us. Magica. How to resist fire. That's what I was looking for earlier. It's frost. Figures. Oh, hold on a second. No. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Got him. We have Berserker? No, we don't. Shit down. Let's do minor stamina. So we got we're having an issue here. That issue is that I'm getting low on health. Wasn't expecting another dragon battle so soon. That's fine. Got him. One more healing potion. We are going to need to stock up somewhere, somehow. There it is. We had just enough to get the job done here. Back-to-back dragon battles. Death Wish handled the saber-toothed cat that was trying to flank us. Another victory in the win column for IronWarlord. So it's time to see what Ulfric has to say and make a decision on the war. There it is. Good old Windhelm. Now you can buy a horse from these stables here, but don't worry, Deathwish, I would not replace you. You're good. It wouldn't be Deathwish. Wouldn't be my horse. I mean, as you can see, Deathwish is a seasoned combatant at this point.
I own Hollyfrost Farm outside the city. It's honest work, if a bit dull.
It's good to know. Yeah, Deathwish fighting off the saber-toothed cat that was trying to flank us as we fought a dragon. Hard to find a horse like that. Willing to literally ride or die.
You come here where you're not wanted. You eat our food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
But we haven't taken a side because it's not our fight.
Hey, maybe the reason these Greyskins don't help in the war is because they're Imperial spies.
Imperial spies? You can't be serious.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight, little spy. We got ways of finding out what you really are.
Do you hate the Dark Elves? Are you here to bully us and tell us to leave?
No, I don't hate you. What the?
You've come to the wrong city then. Windhelm's a haven of prejudice and narrow thinking, unworthy of one such as you.
Why would anyone think you're a spy? Look like those Nords were giving you trouble.
Nothing new there. Most of the Nords living in Windhelm don't care much for us, but Rolf is the worst by far. He likes to get drunk and walk around the Grey Quarter yelling insults at us in the small hours of the morning. Oh, a real charmer, that one. Some of these Nords will come up with any excuse to despise us. And it isn't just the Dark Elves they hate. They make a target of the Argonians as well. In fact, just about anyone who isn't a Nord is fair game for their bullying.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Until next time.
I guess he's making the hit list along with Nazim. He's like the Nazim of Windhelm. So yeah, down the road, add him to the hit list.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
That's good. I might consider that too. After we finish the main quest line.
Algrith won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men.
Amen to
Are we
that.
not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breath. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
That was a badass speech.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you?
Yeah, we were in the back of a wagon. You were kind of gagged, you know, the dragon attack. Yeah.
Is that so? Yes. You were with us at Helgen.
That's right.
Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the answer right here. I was set free. I could have gone anywhere. I came here to fight the Empire. Now, see, that's kind of committal, though, right? Because I want to hear what Tullius has to say.
A fair point. Well, you've come to the right place then. Speak with Galmar. I'm always looking for able fighters. Not everyone can say they made it out of Helgen. Seems we're all branded villains these days. So long as your criminal past stays in the past, and you fight for me with honor and integrity, we'll welcome you into our ranks.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Does he always just walk around talking to himself like that? Or is he... Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's getting his walks in, right? Okay.
Speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents.
Well, I have some questions first.
I killed Toruk to prove our wretched condition. How is the High King supposed to be the defender of Skyrim if he can't even defend himself?
Ooh.
I challenged him in the traditional way, and he accepted. There were many witnesses. No murder was committed. True, he didn't stand a chance against me. But that was precisely the point. He was a puppet king of the Empire, not a High King of Skyrim. His father before him, perhaps, but not Toruk. He was too privileged and too foolish. More interested in entertaining his queen than ruling his country. There hasn't been a true High King in Skyrim for generations. For too long, he's been handpicked by the Emperor, and given emphatic nods by milk-drinking Jarls addicted to Imperial coin. It's time we had a real High King, one of our own making. We're fighting because we're done bleeding for an empire that won't bleed for us. Untold numbers of Nords died defending the Empire against the Dominion. And for what? Skyrim being sold to the Thalmor so the Emperor could keep his throne. We're fighting because our own Jarls, once strong, wise men, have become fearful and blind to the people's suffering. We're fighting because Skyrim needs heroes, and there's no one else but us.
Fair enough.
My father, the Great Bear of Eastmarch, died during my imprisonment after the Markarth incident. I, his only son,
forced to deliver his eulogy via letter I had smuggled out of prison. Such is the love of Titus meat for his subjects. When finally set free, I returned to Windhelm and was greeted by a city in mourning, at one with my own grief and anger, clamoring in angry voices, calling out for justice, for war. They sat me on the throne of Ysgramor, the throne of my father. I only hope I can prove worthy of that honor.
Dang.
Not entirely true, though not entirely false either. Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Torg to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him.
So...
Talos watch over you.
I remember now, this is the ancient high seat of Skyrim, basically. Like, this is like Solitude, I think, is more recent. It was formed more recently. But this is the high seat for the High King of Skyrim, and has been historically. So if I remember the lore correctly, you know, that's why this is the Palace of Kings or whatever. So this is like, yeah, that's a big deal. He's sitting that throne. And then the guy, he said this is the throne of what's his name, Ysgramor or something. That's the main guy for the Companions, too. So yeah, if I'm getting my lore straight, pretty much this is like the Iron Throne of Skyrim for the Nords. All right, pretty cool. This guy, he's pretty badass. Kind of grouchy, kind of grumpy. Has a habit of walking around and talking to himself, but he's going to keep growling at me if I don't talk to him, so... Yeah, that stare says a lot. You know.
Helgen, huh? Ulfric told us quite the story.
It's a nice
if you
bear
made
cap.
it through all that, you're likely worth something to me. But first tell me, why does an orc want to fight for Skyrim?
That's a very good question. That is a very, very good question. I want to fight the Empire. I'll bleed for the chance to do so. That's pretty badass, right? That fits with my character, if we're going for roleplay reasons. Skyrim is home to more than just Nords. That's also another good reason.
Can't fault anyone for that. As long as you hate the Empire as much as I do, that I can work with. Fair enough. But are you willing to die for your home? You mistake me. I'm not saying no, just wondering about your intentions. We're not looking for sellswords. The Stormcloaks need dedicated men and women who are devoted to the cause and willing to die for it.
So, before we do that...
Watch yourself out there.
Before we join and commit, I'm pretty sure I can go talk to Tullius and kind of see his side of things. And I definitely want to do that. This will come in handy.
Good day.
If I can't get healing potions, these are the next
Anyone
best
who
things.
wasn't a Nord would be shipped right out of Skyrim.
You need anything, come see me.
You one of
I'm as
those
resourceful as I am
Skyrim for the Nords types?
Wow. Yes, outsiders like me have no place here.
And you're right, at least as far as I'm concerned. Don't let Ulfric or some of these other short-sighted Nords bother you. Most of us are happy to welcome newcomers.
Cookware, knives, and other goods for the home, all at reasonable prices.
I killed a lot of high elves in the Great War, and I didn't die. I guess that makes me a war hero. The Great War. There was nothing great about it. Thousands died on both sides. And where did it get us? Did we really save the Empire? Or did we just plant the seeds for Ulfric's uprising? And another war.
Let's go hear what Tullius has to say.